The World News at 6 begins with President Bola Tinubu today appointing the outgoing Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, as his new Chief of Staff. He also appointed a former Deputy Governor of Jigawa State, Senator Ibrahim Hadejia, as Deputy Chief of Staff, and former Minister of Special Duties, George Akume, as Secretary to the Government of the Federation. This was revealed in a statement signed on Friday, which is today, by the State House Director of Information, Abiodun Olajujoyin, titled, President Tinubu appoints Gbajabiamila COS, Senator Ibrahim Hadejia DCOS, George Akume SGF. However, Femi Gbajabiamila has reacted to his appointment as President Bola Tinubu's Chief of Staff. Gbajabiamila thanked Tinubu for finding him worthy of the appointment. Tweeting, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives vowed to work enormously with President Tinubu. He promised to bring his 20 years of experience as a parliamentarian to bear in the discharge of his duty. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress today declared a nationwide strike from Wednesday next week. The union disclosed this during its National Executive Council meeting held in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. VOP News gathered that the meeting was not unconnected to the fuel subsidy removal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the subsequent hike in the pump price of petrol. The NEC comprises all presidents, general secretaries, treasurers of all NLC's affiliate unions, state chairpersons and secretaries of the NLC state councils, chairperson of the NLC Youth Committee, and members of the National Administrative Council. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said he would improve the livelihood for Nigerians, which is a top priority for his administration. According to Abiodun Olajujoyin, Director Information at the State House, the president said this when he received members of the Progressive Governors Forum led by the chairman Hope Uzodinma of Imo State at the State House. The president reportedly said the national and sub-national governments will work together on the minimum wage, which already requires soul searching. President Tinubu urged the governors to seize the opportunity of being chosen among millions of citizens in their states to make a difference in the lives of people, stating that he will work for the benefit of Nigerians. President Tinubu said it was a good and encouraging sign that the APC has a majority in the National Assembly and some houses of assembly, which will make it easier to develop policies that will directly impact the economy and the people. President Tinubu said he would remain an open door policy, or rather maintain an open door policy, willing to entertain issues, deliberate and collectively find solutions to the challenges facing the country, which includes security. In his remarks, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, called on the governors to rally around the president as he tackles the challenges that stagnate the economy, like the oil subsidy and multiple exchange rates. Meanwhile, Lamidi Apapa faction of the Labour Party has advised the presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi, to step down his request to overturn the outcome of the February 25 presidential election on the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, noting that he, Obi, is wasting the court's time. The factional National Publicity Secretary of the party, Abayemi Arabambi, while addressing journalists today in Abuja, said that the event that happened in the tribunal yesterday, where the court stepped down hearing the petition filed by Obi and the Labour Party against the election of President Bola Tinubu, necessitated the call. Furthermore, he said since the beginning of the Presidential Petition Election Tribunal setting, Obi on many occasions failed to provide any concrete evidence to back his claim. They further stated that witnessing these, he quoted, Obi's attempt to cage the sense of thinking of Nigerians by trickily obtaining money from them to fund the court process, making them believe that there is something for him at the end of the day, with Peter Obi. This is what we have been saying, that they are just trying to hoodwink the public, deceiving the obedience and giving them false hope that they have something at the tribunal. He stated that it is evident from the attitude displayed by them when they wrote a letter to the INEC that Obi could not pay 1.5 million naira. Who are they deceiving? They ask more. Councils were sick, just 2 out of how many of them? And they start a court process when time is already against the party? Yesterday, the court had to give them a stand down of 10 minutes to file their process. They came back and they could not do anything. You heard what the court told them. You are wasting the time of the court and they are not serious. Now, in order to talk about the proposed NLC strike, which is to commence next week, Wednesday, as well as what the faction of the Labour Party is stating to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party to step down his political ambitions, rather his lofty political ambitions, as he is wasting the court's time. I have via the telephone Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, good evening and welcome to the World News at 6 right here on VOP 90.3 FM.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
So let's go to the meat of the conversation. The Nigerian Labour Congress has eventually stated that from next week, Wednesday, they're asking all workers to down their tools, and it is not unconnected with the recent increase in palm price. Do we think that this is the right time to call for the strike?
I don't know when would be the right time to call for the strike. I think, to me, the subsidy removal will create more hardship to the generality of Nigerians. So, and in that regard, Labour, who's to protect our interests, should not sit down and watch. If they're not going to agree, each strike will make them get the attention of the government or make them defer their decision. So be it. For me, we can't continue to play a lame dog when the issues are like this. But my worry is that, look, whether Nigerians still believe in the leadership of the Labour Party, Labour Union, because of their antecedents. People don't believe that when they call us for strike, they will achieve our goal before the strike is suspended. So some people believe that when they call out for strike, they want to get their own cuts, and people don't take them seriously. So I think maybe this is the time for them to redeem their image. This is the time for them to show that, look, we still have the interest of the people at heart, and we are still working for the people. But for me, I for one, I don't believe in that subsidy removal, because at this level, not that I don't believe in the removing subsidy, because I believe that subsidy is not our problem. Our problem is the corruption, lack of transparency, lack of accountability, and lack of political will from the leadership of the country. Because you cannot tell me you are paying subsidy to some people, and because they are not doing the right thing, and we are suffering, and nobody is being punished, and the next thing to do is to make everybody suffer. When you say, and what is the guarantee that even if the subsidy is removed, the money that will be generated for that will be safe from the subsidy will not be used for the benefit of those who call the elites and those in the leadership? Because that is the time when you see the members of the National Assembly, the ministers, those are the president of the government, increasing their allowances and salaries, and making Nigeria other masses remain the way they are. As far as I'm concerned, the enabling environment is not there for us to remove a subsidy at this period. We often compare ourselves with foreign countries where there is no subsidy. In this country, we are talking about they don't provide security for themselves. Citizens don't provide electricity for themselves. Citizens don't provide water for themselves. Citizens don't. They have affordable education. They have affordable health care for them. So and because I see people put up lists of countries and what they buy fuel in those countries. These countries are not like Nigeria, where we have so many other things, where we have become a government of our own. So if you are talking about subsidy, it will create, as far as I'm concerned, it will create more hardship for people. You're using like 30k, 40k to buy fuel for a food tank, and that will finish in a week. It's not reasonable. How much is our salary? How much is the income we are generating? So as far as I'm concerned, it is not right for now. We have not placed the necessary precedent on ground. As far as I'm concerned, we are putting the cart before the horse, and that's what we're doing. No functionary refinery. We don't have, so until all these things are available, that's when I will support subsidy. And I have refused to accept this.
Support the removal, not subsidy itself. Until okay, all right.
I have refused to be cajoled again. To believe this slogan. No pain, no gain. We have been enduring pain all this while. For 8 years during Buhari, we are told the same thing. You have to endure. We endure, and nothing comes out of it. No gain after it. So I don't want to believe in that slogan again. No pain, no gain. Then let's enjoy. Government is not in place to inflict pain on us. Government is in place to make it easy for us, to make things more conducive for us. So as far as I'm concerned, this subsidy of the thing, you see within the 2 or 3 days, you see the increment in the transportation, the increment in the price of commodities and all those things. How many people will be able to afford it? It's going to be create more hardship, and I will not expect Labour to sit down and look at them and say, look, we are going to accept it just like that. Government is not only about making money. It's about ensuring that the people are enjoying the benefit of being a government. It's not about only paying salaries or allowances of those who are in political who have political privilege to be in position.
All right, Barrister Tunji. So let's go to the Labour Party at the moment. We have the faction of the Labour Party. Remember that we thought the court had been able to resolve the situation within the party, but now we have a section of the party saying that Peter Obi should step down his lofty ambitions. So I want to read it out a little bit to you so you understand the premise where it's coming from. Now, Ayobami Arabambi, who is the factional national publicity secretary of the party, while addressing journalists today in Abuja, literally said that the event that happened at the tribunal yesterday, where the court stepped down hearing the petition filed by, Peter Obi and the Labour Party against the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, necessitated a call for the press conference which they organized this evening. So according to him, he said that they have followed with keen interest the shameful development and approach by the so-called, that is what they termed the legal team of the Labour Party as well as Peter Obi. They call them the so-called legal team assembled by Peter Obi, challenging the outcome of the February 25 presidential election by INEC, and that they, that is a faction, and like many Nigerians, have come to the conclusion that Peter Obi is not only taking Nigerians for a ride, but would continue to waste their hard-earned resources donated by Nigerians for these purposes to enrich themselves even more. And so he stated that Obi's attempt to cage the sense of thinking of Nigerians by trickily obtaining money from them to fund the court process, making them believe that there is something for him at the end of the day, must stop now. And he made reference to the fact that Peter Obi could not pay for the CTC form EC08 and other documents for the election, and of course that it has now compelled them to only present 30% of the materials they would need for the hearing at the election petition tribunal. And he made reference to other instances 3 days ago where 2 of their councils were declared to be sick, and yesterday they could not even file a single process with the array of senior advocates of Nigeria with the Peter Obi team. And he said that this is what they have been saying, that the Labour Party and Peter Obi are trying to hoodwink the public, deceiving the obedient and giving them false hope that they have something at the tribunal. Do you think the statement from Lamidi Apapa as well as Arabambi at this point in time, when the party needs all the support it can garner from, whether the faction or the Labour Party itself as well as the supporters, literally they have come out to say that the ambition or the stolen mandate as declared by Peter Obi and the Labour Party is indeed not true? Because when you say that your mandate was stolen, you as a party collectively filed a petition to say that there were infractions and irregularities at the February 25 election, and you believe that the Labour Party ought to have won. You're literally neutralizing all the effort, all the process portrayed at the election petition tribunal by the statement that was made today to journalists. What's your take on that?
Esther, I am not surprised on the position of Arabambi and Lamidi Apapa. Even before the election, they exhibited a habit of, in quotes, rebellion. They rebel against the party in such a way that they want to truncate whatever the party have. So I am not surprised they are making this statement. Well, let's ask this question. They call themselves members of the Labour Party. What is their contribution? What have they done to make sure that this party succeeds? If the party is not able to pay 1.5 million naira, should they not be ashamed that they are member of a party and the party is not able to bring out 1.5 million naira? How much are they putting on grant? Or are they saying this petition is just for his only ability to be the presidential candidate? He must be the one to fund all the activities of the party. I'm not surprised anyway from their statement. And the issue of being not able to pay 1.5 million naira, I think the lawyer has clarified it. The lawyer said, no, it's not about not paying. It's about INEC not making it available for them. So if you don't have it, how do you pay for it? So it's ridiculous to say Obi and his team and will not be able to pay 1.5 million naira to collect document from court. I don't believe that position. So they what they are doing is just to ensure that look, they ridicule the party, they bring the party down, and they see them as working for certain people.
Now let me read out something in the statement that actually makes it seem obvious that there is a play or a script being played somewhere. They actually made reference to the fact that it's like they made reference, or during the address they made it seem like it's a collective decision of the entire Labour Party members. So they did not say a faction. They said Labour Party is therefore calling on Peter Obi to get a step down on his selfish ambition and stop messing up the party if he has nothing serious to present to the tribunal. So this is where it all now seems kind of suspicious. He went further while speaking on the fuel subsidy removal. He knocked the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress for rejecting the new pump price of petrol. You recall now that the NLC has declared there's going to be a strike starting from next week Wednesday. Obviously, from the conversation they had with other stakeholders, especially those at government, the current government, I think the decision came at a stalemate. They did not get to any conclusion. Now, the Trade Union Congress, or the Labour Party faction of Arabambi and Lamidi Apapa, they're knocking the Nigeria Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, for rejecting the new pump price of petrol and stating that it is unfounded for them to support Obi's initial plan to remove subsidy, but are not against Tinubu for doing it. So he stated further that we cannot reverse that position because it was not our candidate that won the presidential election. So he says whatever was agreed upon during the campaign, and as a party that promotes peace, equity and justice in Nigeria, then we can't be found approbating and reprobating at the same time. Literally stating that the position is that once Obi says he will remove fuel subsidy from his first day in office, the same organized labor who stood on that position must not be seen working in cross purpose on the same thing that Tinubu, Atiku and even Obi said they were going to do. Was so literally defining that Peter Obi said from his first day of office he's going to remove fuel subsidy, and now Tinubu is doing the same thing and they seem to be opposing it. So they are saying that the Labour Union, that's the Nigeria Labour Congress, is approbating and reprobating at the same time just because their own candidate or desired candidate did not win. Literally say, alleging that the Nigeria Labour Congress plan to down tools is politically motivated, seemingly because it feels like they're supporting Peter Obi. Do you think this is actually what they're intending to pass across? Is this the reality of the situation based on the statement that was made today?
That is not the reality of what is on ground.
Okay.
Firstly, I'm not speaking for Labour Party. I don't believe that their position is the position of the Labour Party. And because I am aware that we have been told that Arabambi and has been and the other and his cohorts have been suspended from the party.
Exactly.
So, and even if they are not suspended, they are not the chairman. They can't be speaking for the party. The chairman has not said anything. So they can't be saying they are speaking on behalf of all Labour Party members. Where are these members? Where did they meet them? What is the capacity? In which capacity are they speaking? The chairman is still there. They have not been removed, and it's been confirmed by the court that he is still the chairman of the Labour Party. So whatever they are saying, as far as I'm concerned, is for their own personal interest. And you see, the issue of Obi and Atiku also making promise that they will remove subsidy. The issue on ground now is not about the removal of the subsidy itself. It's about the manner in which it was received. It was removed. If you want to remove subsidy, we are thinking that you have put in place all those measures that will cushion the effect of those subsidies. But there's nothing on that. And bearing in mind that, look, we are even told that, look, this subsidy will still succeed till end of June. And we are just in the first week of June. And you are removing it. In other words, payment subsidy has been paid up to June. It's captured in our budget up to June. So why are we in a rush to quickly remove it without any plan on ground to cushion the effect? In other words, the government, it shows that the government is not concerned about the hardship or the consequences of this removal of subsidy. Because as of today, when you buy for 500 naira, it definitely all other things will be affected by it. So I don't see what what's it called? Arabambi and Co are saying as something that is great. Sincerely speaking, the way they are speaking, it shows that they are working for certain people to destroy the party and to destroy the Obi and the Labour Party.
Because one would think that this crucial time when the party needs to have one voice, despite the fact that the court has come in to give a judgment on who the official chairman of the Labour Party is, one would think that these individuals who state that they are still members of the Labour Party would rest their case. But coming at a time like this, when the party is actually trying to resuscitate the hope of its supporters with the trends of events as it unveils at the election petition tribunal, this section of the party coming to give a press statement on that, don't you think it could be daunting on the supporters and make the party seem unserious? Because again, remember that the judges have been saying that they do not need any media trial as the election petition process continues. So with the stance of Arabambi and Lamidi Apapa, what would you say is the purpose of this, coming with a voice that seems to be a collective tone of most Labour Party members?
With due respect, I just want to compare Arabambi and Co with what Wiki and Co did before the election. They are just trying to fight for their own personal interest, and what they are doing is just for personal interest alone. It's not about the interest of the country. It's not about the interest of the Labour Party. It's about their own personal interest. They have one thing or the other against the party or against certain people in the party, and they are trying to fight them. They're trying to destroy the party, and they are being used by people outside the party to destroy the party. As far as I'm concerned, all what they are saying are not correct in any way. They are just saying things that are not. As a member of the party, even if you are a member of the party, you don't destroy your party. You contribute to the success of your party. And if you don't believe in what your party is doing, just keep quiet and work them and stay put to where you are. If you are truly a leader in the party, you will not be saying things that will destroy your party. You want to contribute, make sure that things are done in a way that will help the party out. And if you are in crisis and you are not willing to settle, you either keep quiet or not join them in doing anything. Not to just come out and start saying things that are not proper. As far as I'm concerned, they are just acting for their own personal interest.
All right, thank you, Barrister Tunji, for your contribution on the World News at 6. I do appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Now, in stories outside the shores of Nigeria, between 30 and 50 people are reported dead and more than 100 injured by local media after 2 trains collided in India's eastern Odisha state. Nearly 50 ambulances have been sent to the scene in the Balasore district, which of course the state chief secretary recently disclosed. A number of carriages were derailed this evening, according to the media. Now, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted to say he was distressed by the incident and his thoughts were with the bereaved families. He stated that rescue operations are underway at the site of the mishap and all possible assistance is being given to those affected. One of the trains involved in the collision was the Shalima Chennai Coromandel Express. Also, the breaking story reiterates the members of the national of the party and members of the union should keep getting themselves updated while the story develops, and they would try as much as possible to provide all the necessary assistance to be given to the victims and the families affected. To wrap up the world news at 6, here again are the top stories. You heard that Tinubu has appointed Gbajabiamila as Chief of Staff, Akume Secretary General of the Federation. NLC has declared a nationwide strike commencing on Wednesday next week. President Tinubu promises better minimum wage, lists security as top priority. Labour Party faction asked Peter Obi to step down his lofty political ambition. And in stories outside the shores of Nigeria, dozens reported dead after India train crash. That is a wrap on the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Mwachuku. For your news mentions and brand news mentions on our major news bulletin, just send an email to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good evening and thank you for listening.